remember to hit that like and subscribe, guys. Stick around for future content. I'll always be here. And we now shall continue to the race. Off to a bad start there, but we're gonna get it back. Alright, sorry, I'm just getting used to these sport hard tires. I'm actually used to racing on racing cards and having a bit of struggle with cornering, but I'll get it down. Alright, suspension might be a little on the stiff side. I'm going to try to loosen things up a little bit here. sure why my rear brakes keep locking up, but every time I hit my brakes on the corner, it just kicks the ass end right out. It's my rear brakes too, not my front brakes. This thing's got a huge problem with the tail end being loose. I mean, all Porsches do. I don't know why they. I do know Porsches have a, you know, pretty good at handling. The Porsche 911s are like known or renowned for their handling capabilities, but I guess that's only if you're familiar with them. Whereas I'm familiar with racing front-wheel drives and all-wheel drives. So this is completely alien racing rear-engine rear-wheel drive car that's got like literally no weight in the front end. Oh my god, guys. Alright, fuck that Porsche. That thing's got issues. Oops, I forgot to detune this. I wanted to try to get... I think this one's gonna do better, because this car just naturally is more refined and sits a lot lower to the ground. And the diff lock does not need to be that. Oh wow, okay. Well, shit. Well, I think that'll do. Alright. And we can keep our downforce too. Heck yeah. Thank you, power limiter. gosh darn AI is trying to run me off the road. Apparently that AI can't keep that one under control either. I just saw his up. mountains, but I'm not sure what really went wrong right in that last sector there. Just all of a sudden got loose. Probably overheated tires. Damn it, it keeps screwing up that one last part. I'm trying to figure this out.
Hi. I know a cheap car that is
Hey,
very good.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, what's your suggestions? I don't know. I think I'm just super rusty at this at the moment. I haven't really consistently played Gran Turismo for like a while, so I'm kind of getting back into it.
When you
I've
can go to the brand central.
Okay. Um, all right. What I might do is try this tune out and
Go on
see.
America and USA.
Oh yeah, so this race I need a European car for. I'm just gonna quickly try to get this one done.
Chevrolet. Is 124k or something.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. After this race, I'll go and check that out.
Good luck to win. Which don't worry, it happens. I was like that too. I support small creators. And they are really friendly sometimes.
Oh crap! I'm not even paying attention here. Yeah. So that's awesome. Yeah. I've been YouTubing for a while. It's just trying to get back into getting a little better at Gran Turismo again. Trying to consistently race. I race on the G29, Logitech G29 racing wheel, and trying to get back into the rhythm. Trying to get back into the rhythm of things.
recognize that Porsche. Did you unlocked it after completing my first Gran Turismo?
I can definitely see what makes this Porsche lag. It was crazy because, like, as I jump up the years of Porsche, from this one to the next newer one and the next newer one, you can definitely see the difference in how much better the next model generation handles compared to the previous. Like, there's a huge leap there, and that's kind of why I like going back and forth between these Porsches, especially on this track. Like, this track surely brings out the best and the worst of each vehicle. That BMW M3 actually was pretty stable. I liked how balanced and how well that performed. But the AI, I have noticed that the AI since the Sony Some AI thing there, the AI's gotten a little better.
Or steering wheel?
I'm on steering wheel, racing on a Logitech G29. Linky. Sorry, my son's in the background going absolutely insane.
I got the 2.
Yeah, I happen to like the G29. I had friends that had Thrustmasters, and one person that had I knew a guy that had a Fanatic Pro, and they're both decent. You know, like the Thrustmaster is decent, but the Fanatic's like the Ultra, you know, supreme racing wheel. But I like the G29 because I feel like it's the most balanced, and it's probably the best for. It's definitely like the most balanced wheel for most games. Like, it's probably, I feel like it works pretty universally with a lot of different racing games, and it's got really good force feedback, and it's consistent. It's got good consistency. Like, I don't know if you've played, I play on PC as well, and with like BeamNG, where you can like adjust the torque curve and whatnot of the pedals and the wheel. It's just phenomenal how adjustable and finely dialed you can get the Logitech compared to other wheels.
Come on, you can do this. Wow, how unlucky. Nice cars. Wanna check out the car I was talking about?
Yeah, I'll check it out here. I'm gonna just, I don't think this one's gonna cut it. I don't have the, tuning computer for it, so I'm gonna have to try something different.
Go on Brand Central when you can, don't worry.
So this one's probably, I feel like, my most finely dialed in. Like, after I complete this race this time, I'm going to, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop this stream. I gotta delete this stream, honestly, because this one is just straight up, like I'm doing absolutely terrible in it. But, start up a different stream where I'm tuning and, trying out each, Porsche on a specific track to kind of compare each generation and see. But yeah, no, the AI has gotten significantly better. I will check out that car, by the way. The one that says at the Chevrolet dealership in USA region. Obviously, Chevrolet in USA, but yeah. I'll definitely check that out. I'm just I'm gonna try to complete this one now. This Porsche is probably my most well-balanced Porsche, but this is also like a personal favorite to me because this is the Porsche that I used to use as like my go-getter car in Test Drive Unlimited and way back in the day. And
don't worry, take it calmly.
Yeah, I think that's my problem. Is I'm getting too like tense. You know what I mean? Like getting too involved with it, not being like relaxed. Because I do find like when you're more relaxed and like you don't get as aggressive in it, you tend to do a little better. Kind of cut that corner to give that Alpha a little room there, but yeah, this one's just phenomenal. Dude, I feel like my freaking game is like purposely trying to fuck me over. It's always like when I catch up to that guy in blue, something just miraculously happens where either my car loses grip out of nowhere, or
you give up too early.
Oh no, I only have one lap to catch up to that guy. There's no way I was gonna catch up to him. Like, even if, like, if I have the same thing happen this race, I'll show you. There's just no chance if something like that happens that I'm ever gonna pass that guy.
Remember, don't think about being first, focus on making it.
That's good. Yeah, legit just took that corner in the same exact manner, and perfectly fine. I have no idea what happened on that last lap, but we're about to win this round 2 for this guy.
Is it in there? 'Cause I'm in another part of the world. It is 4:45, so almost 5 o'clock. For me it is 10:30 p.m.
Yeah, that was weird. I was coming around that corner there, that bend, and then out of nowhere my steering wheel just locked up, and I just went, like, coasted into the wall. I have no idea what the hell's going on, but it's always on this race. Maybe I should just try a different car. I'm probably gonna go back to that BMW and see what the hell happened.
Wanna check my car now?
Yeah, I will. I just, so I can't use American cars on this race. It's gotta be European only, which kinda sucks because the only European car that's any worth driving is Porsche, to be honest. And even they are kind of slacking.
Okay.
But, I mean, I would have, trust me, I would use something else if I really rather not be using a BMW or anything like that. I don't mind Porsche, like, I think Porsches are nice, but most other European cars are absolute trash. Like, okay, not sure what just happened there, but I wasn't even under throttle, I just kicked out. Yeah, I was coming around that same bend just fine that lap, so I'm not sure. Come on, dude, seriously? Why are you braking so much? I swear the AI just like adapts to how. Hey, what the world? Why does it kick out at such random intervals? I don't even understand that. Okay, guys, let's not do the push. This is a pretty balanced car, besides the understeer. Well, both oversteer and understeer. Probably the most well-balanced coupe sedan solution. Well, it's a coupe, but yeah. Honestly, after driving like most Japanese cars, I mean even an old mid-90s Evo Lancer handles better than this thing. This thing's trash. Like 1 second, it's like it steers corners, cuts in pretty good. Has really good angle. Doesn't. But then the second you're over so of speed, it's like once you steer more than 30 degrees, it just cuts out. It's like the front wheels turn into skis, and then or it just randomly gets these bumps in torque and kicks out on you. I was at maybe half throttle there in third gear. Let me try that going around this corner. Except for this guy bumping me. It's at full throttle going around these corners with bumps and everything. no random spin out. Now the AI is getting like more and more aggressive, like starting to ram me and shit. Yeah, no, this track certainly brings out the best and the worst in most cars. Because you got these long, you got these long, wide open corners that you can just go full throttle through, depending on what you're driving. Unless it's this, and you got these guys just kind of trying to take up all lanes, doing a blocking maneuver. Not really sure how Volkswagen Scirocco is staying ahead of the Countach, but alright. It's gotta be like the racing variant they convert for a car. Alright, it's always right there. Second gear, just gotta give it like no throttle through there. This guy's gonna try to take it. 1 second he's taking it wide, next round he's taking it short, he's trying to pit me. Oh no, I think I'm designed for pitting on this one. Okay, do not know why it's kicking him up. Now, no tire temperatures obviously play a role in this. It's not, so like, I guess that's the one thing I'm like, so if tire temperatures do, play such a role, we should have like some sort of way to monitor that, like Gran Turismo has. Or not Gran Turismo, Forza Motorsport, where they show me tire temperature, PSI changes, or pressure on every suspension, on every corner for the suspension, like compression, decompression ratios. Okay, so somehow this BMW is in first now, which I find really odd because every other time I've raced this, the Mercedes is always in first. So hopefully I can hold my ground against the same exact car. I will say the AI has definitely gotten better. Because I remember when I first started playing this game, the AI was just playing bumper cars with you on every corner, on every track. Just slamming into you, pit maneuvering you, just driving like you don't even, it's almost like you don't even exist on their radar. But now, I notice like, they actually, like that right there, he just gave me some room. There's moments where they'll give you room, there's moments where they'll block you in. It kind of feels like more realistic, because when you play online in a session, as long as you're not playing with a bunch of like teeny bopper kids, they're, just playing the game because they want to do like NASCAR wreckouts and shit. You have those moments. You run into those racers that will either ram you off the course, or they'll block you, or they are, they have like a lot of good race etiquette and they give you space. They don't try to crowd you and make you crash. Most of the AI has definitely gotten a lot better. I'm doing this on Expert right now. So we're crashing into the wall there. It doesn't look very good at all. But yeah, I'm still rusty, still getting used to this. I gotta start playing it more. Like I gotta start trying to get on here every week and doing the weekly races, trying to sharpen up, trying to do more like online lobbies and stuff like that. That's my problem really. It's just suck at this. At the moment, but gonna do my best to get better. You know, gonna be patient about it. Honestly, you know, that's the other thing. Like, Gran Turismo, I know the developers know by now that Ford, Chevy, Chrysler are not really American brands as much as they claim to be nowadays. Like, they claim to be American simply because their cars are assembled here. But the parts for those cars, pretty much every Chevy, every Ford, is actually manufactured out of China. A lot of people don't understand that or realize that at the moment. Kind of like BMW, like a lot of German cars are even relying on Chinese manufacturing to make the parts, and then they just are assembled in their respected countries or respected factories. Alright, I'm gonna go see what he was talking about over here in America. So I pretty much own every basic Chevrolet. Well, I guess I don't own this one, but I don't really care to, because this Chevrolet's cop-out to try to compete with the super and hyper class by essentially like stealing. Let's face it, guys. Anybody could be an engineer that's like, okay, mid-engine, rear-wheel drive layout, you know, with curves and aerodynamic features such as this car is obviously going to be able to compete with, you know, a Ferrari or like I don't think that really takes to me anyways, like I'm looking at designs and I've had for years, and to me it's just like common knowledge, second nature to be like, yeah, of course this is gonna keep up with um, a Ferrari, but why couldn't they just do the classic Corvette like this, front engine, rear wheel drive, and then try to improve on that? You know, like they did with this. This right here is actually pretty famous, pretty popular for doing pretty well. Well, their Group 3 road car, like, there's no point in having that. If you can just take this, you're going to do much better. You can just... But yeah. I think I pretty much own all these still. Except for this one. But I don't think I'm ever really going to... I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of supercars and hypercars because they're just... I don't know. Like when I was a kid, I guess when I was like a little kid, I was like, oh yeah, that's so cool, you know, they look fascinating, they look neat. But then you grow up and you realize like, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Like, I'd rather have a high performance car you can drive every day, or a car you can, you know, go street, like cruising around on the street with. Like something like this. I mean, fuck. This right here will take on any of those Corvettes any day of the week with a mild tune. And back in its day, it didn't cost half as much. I mean, shit, Honda's doing a good job at just making front engine front wheel drive cars that um, completely decimate the competition. But yeah, that's it for me. I'm probably going to do a different stream where I'm just fine-tuning cars, going around a circuit, trying to compare lap times and get the most out of them. Because I'm kind of curious. Like, I'm legitimately curious how certain generations stack up against each other. Alright, let's see here. Kind of like this circuit because I feel like it's an ideal testing circuit. So yeah, I'm gonna start a new stream for this, guys, so stay tuned and I'll see you on that.